live from the KWQC Broadcast Center in downtown Davenport with Morgan Otier and Kyle Keel. This is Quad Cities Live.
Today on QCL, the Rock Island Public Library is helping you level up your summer with free family-friendly fun. Learn about the variety of ways you can make the most of July without spending a dime.
Plus, using AI to make your business more creative and more efficient. So we're talking with Twin State Technical Services about the future of tech and how you can get hands-on help at 2 upcoming workshops.
And a retro spot to shop in Burlington, Iowa. We're getting a preview of the 10th annual Very Vintage Market featuring live music, food trucks, and more than 100 vendors.
Hello and happy Monday. Welcome to Quad Cities Live. It is July 7th. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I'm Kyle Keel.
I'm Morgan Otier. Get ready for 4 days full of laughs, high energy, improv, and some serious competition.
Yes.
Comedy Sports Quad Cities is rolling out the red carpet as it prepares to host the 2025 Comedy Sports World Championship.
Yes, starting Thursday, teams from all across the country will face off at the Spotlight Theater in downtown Moline. And joining us to talk about this very highly anticipated showdown are Bob Kelly and Monta Ponsetto. They are with Quad Cities Comedy Sports. Thank you both for being here today.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, and I know you folks are very excited because this is a pretty big deal for Comedy Sports and really the Quad Cities in general to have all of these really funny people to be in our presence here pretty soon.
Exactly. 25 cities are coming in
25 cities.
to perform with us for 11 shows, and it'll be a great time.
Yeah, well, we were trying to nail down like a timeline of maybe roughly around the last time that you hosted the World Championship, and we're thinking it was like around 2013. It was somewhere around that time. So it's been a while. What does it mean to be able to do this and have everybody back?
Well, it's exciting and terrifying, and it's like hydroplaning.
Oh, yes. It's the blood pumping.
Yeah, as long as you don't hit anything, it's great.
He's like already working on this material.
Yes, and he's already given us a few laughs. That's
Save
for
it,
sure.
Bob. Save it.
So you mentioned 11 different shows. So how many teams are going to be competing? Is it 25 different teams?
I think it is about 25.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
25 teams, 25 different cities from across the country.
Okay.
We do have some teams that are outside of the country, but they're not here performing this year.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right, cool. So we've got the schedule on the screen right now, but Monta, talk a little bit about where some of these teams are from, because they're not necessarily even regional. So
No.
I
mean, we go from Boston all the way out to Seattle, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Richmond, Virginia, New York.
That's exciting.
Indianapolis, Chicago, I mean, and close to home too.
Big cities and small.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. A lot, and quite a few from Texas are
Very
coming
cool.
out,
A lot of
so.
funny people.
Yes,
Yeah.
a lot of funny people.
Texas.
So for those who may not have been to a Comedy Sports show before, what can they expect? I mean, you guys do, I know it's a lot of improv.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
So when somebody comes down to see one of these shows, they're going to see 2 of those cities. They're going to throw up their best improvisers, and they're going to compete for laughter from the audience. That laughter translates to points, and those points are going to bring a winner at the end of each game.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay, so there's a red. So this is a red versus blue team.
Correct.
So and it's based on audience participation, applause, laughter.
Right, we get audience suggestions and they
Okay.
feed into our improv scenes, and then their laughs are the
Okay.
points.
And that's how you know it's
awesome.
improv, because you have to get those ideas from the audience
Yes.
itself. You're not
Yes.
handpicking
Nothing's
the audience.
scripted.
Yeah.
Nothing's rehearsed.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
That makes it so great. So even outside of this championship, you guys put on shows every week at the Spotlight Theater.
Every Friday and Saturday at 7 p.m. We're lucky. The Spotlight is an awesome place for us. They've got the big theater upstairs. We're in the studio space downstairs, which fits our audience, our improv, our show perfectly.
Okay, and when you go to this, so the championship, so Monta, you're actually going to get to see more performances than you usually would. Like they start at 6 p.m. and then there's like multiple matchups,
Right.
is what I'm getting at, right?
They call it the New York style. But
Okay.
we have a show at 6, we have a show at 7:30, and then at 9 p.m.
Oh, holy cow.
One person buying a ticket can see all 3 shows, 6 different teams from all across the country.
Well, and Bob, I want to ask you, like, I mean, you guys have been doing this for a very long time. What is like the key to being like really great at improv? Do you ever have a bad night where like you're like, wow?
I think everybody has
This
a
is
bad
terrifying
night.
for me.
Yeah, I could never do it either.
But I think it's just trusting the person you're there with, believing that they have something to contribute, and that whatever you say, they're going to say yes and too.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yes,
And they're
yeah.
going to do the same.
Okay.
Teamwork.
Yeah.
You got to
That's how
bounce off the
Yeah.
energy, right?
Exactly.
like us.
Exactly.
We'd be like a very unfunny
Yeah, I think, yeah.
improv, but we kind of do that.
Sometimes you just got to
exactly.
do it, right?
Yes,
Got to
and?
bounce off each other. So, so what's going to be happening with the local team? You guys obviously
Oh, yeah.
going to be taking the stage, right?
Right.
You're all a part
right.
of this?
We are doing three
Correct.
different shows, and so we've got different members of our company performing in each one of those shows. So it'll
Okay.
be exciting.
Yeah, we've got a show Wednesday at 6. We'll kick off
Okay.
Yeah.
the
You'll be
actual
first up.
public performances.
Oh, nice, okay.
Then we've got one Friday at 7:30, and then
Probable.
assuming we are hoping that
Probable.
we'll be in the championship Saturday
Yeah.
night.
That's right.
We're
And-
ready.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
bet you
good.
are. And so how does the actual championship work? Like the teams are just whittled down, kind of like a March Madness bracket?
Yes, yeah. Very
Somewhat,
similar.
yeah.
So yeah, it's a bracket style, and then at the end, hopefully, we'll be standing there and have the home field advantage and
That's very
compete to
cool.
win.
Okay, well that's
Exactly.
awesome.
Yeah.
So what can we do kind of as a community to show our support for this piece of arts and culture
Yeah.
here in the Quad Cities? I mean, we've always got so much going on, which is a wonderful problem to have. What can we be doing if we've never seen a comedy sports show? I feel like this is really something for everyone.
Yeah, and that's one of the key things about our show is it is family friendly. Anyone can attend.
Wow.
So you can bring kids, you can teenagers, adults, grandma, grandpa, all ages can
Someone's
come
gonna
and
laugh.
feel comfortable. And that's the biggest thing is just to come and see a show,
Yeah.
experience it because it's different.
It's different, yeah.
Yeah. I always think I don't expect anyone to come every weekend, but if we're on your list of possible things
Yeah.
to do,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to be on that list.
I like that outlook.
Yeah, and even the
Great.
performers on the team, I mean, they're all different age groups, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So
That is
it
really
represents
fun.
everyone.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, the Comedy Sports World Championship is a 4-day event. It starts this week, Thursday at 6 p.m. Comedy Sports performs at the Spotlight Theater on 7th Avenue in Moline. You can purchase a single night ticket for $20 or a fan pass for up to 4 nights for $35. I believe that was Wednesday evening that they start.
Yes.
Yes, not Thursday, Wednesday. To get your tickets, you will find a link by visiting comedysportsqc.com. That is sports with a Z. Bob and Monta, thank you so
Yes,
much for
thank you.
joining us today. And again, the fun starts Wednesday and runs through Saturday when you guys will have the championship.
Exactly.
Yes.
Very
Thank
cool.
you.
All right. Go
Right.
Comedy Sports Quad Cities.
Yes.
We're rooting for you.
Thank you so
All right.
much.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Yes, thank you. Coming up on Quad Cities Live, the schedule is action-packed at the Rock Island Public Library with activities and events geared toward kids, teens, and adults. We'll get all the details next.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
All right, the kids might want to cover their ears with this, but we're halfway through the summer.
No.
Okay, we can uncover them now, but there's still plenty of time to have fun, including at the Rock Island Public Library.
Yeah, as part of the Level Up Summer Initiative, the library is helping families and individuals with creative, free, and educational events for all ages. Joining us, as always, from the library with what to expect for July is Lisa Lockhart. Lisa, welcome back.
Thanks for having us
Of
on.
course.
I just can't believe it. Like, it feels like you were just here, and now we're already talking about
Yeah.
being, halfway through summer.
Giving
and-
us a preview of summer, and
Oh
now we're
my
like
gosh.
halfway through.
Now we're almost
How did
done.
that happen?
I don't know, but we are roaring into the second half of summer, so
Yeah.
it's
You
still
are.
there's still a lot of fun left.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear you say that. I
Yes.
don't want to get depressed. Okay, so your summer reading goal, which is one of the things that we've been talking with you about in the past, I believe 500,000 community minutes.
That's correct.
So
All
everyone
right.
that is logging, we are shooting for 500,000 minutes. We're doing pretty well.
We are doing pretty. I just checked this morning, and we're about 346,000.
Really?
Yes.
All right, so we're halfway
Really?
through, and
So
we can double that, right?
That hot weekend maybe did us some favors. I don't know.
Yeah, you could be right about that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, so keep logging, keep reading, and if you haven't registered, there is still time, and you can earn some really cool prizes and have fun.
Yep.
Yeah, so for those of us who might be struggling on picking up that book, you've got some tips to share too. Maybe give us that extra encouragement that we need to pick up the book and read this summer.
Yeah, for parents and for kids too. It's there's a lot of things going on.
There is.
So setting a goal, that's always a great start. Scheduling time, whether it's at the end of the day or the beginning of the day. Always taking a book with you, and that is so much easier to do now with digital books and digital audio books. Taking them along on trips, taking them to the park. Changing up where you read. Read at the park. Read at the pool.
Yeah.
you know, just kind of making it part of your everyday activities. So that's, you know, considered something you thread into things.
Create a habit.
Yeah. And then, you know, for some people, audiobooks are a great, you know, option because you can be doing something else with your hands while you're listening to a book. So
I
if you're
love that.
Crafter, gardener, exerciser, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's perfect. Whenever I'm watering my plants,
Yeah.
you know, I have to be listening to something because it's just like something to take your mind off of all the bugs and spiders and all of
There
that
you
stuff.
go, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Ignore.
Yeah.
right, ignore. Shut them out. So
Yeah.
one thing that we can do to encourage reading is maybe start building a home library. So really quickly, I just want to mention your summer book sale because that is coming up pretty soon.
It's coming up pretty soon, the end of July, July 25th
Okay.
and 26th. So it's right on the Bix, but you know, take a little bit of time, come to the book sale, pick up some really great bargains because it's a pay what you want book sale.
Oh, that's great.
Oh,
So,
wow.
you know, you assemble your box or boxes of things and you say, this is what I want to pay. And we're like, thank you very much.
Oh, that's
Yeah, thank you
great.
for the
Yeah.
donation. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, you know, what we've been doing, adults, kids, everyone, we've been trying to level up our reading at the library all summer long. So that's kind of the theme here. So for the month of July, you've got a couple different activities that we want to talk about for adults.
Yeah, so, you know, leveling up your fitness. We
I
have
could do that.
a program on optimizing your physical function as you age.
Okay.
And that is happening with a physical therapist, and there's even a short workout after that so
Okay.
that you can kind of build that into your practice. But it's about maintaining functionality, like everyday things like groceries or bringing in, you know, taking out the garbage or those kind of things. And then we also have the 8 Dimensions of Wellness program coming up. Also this week, and you know, it's about how wellness is more than just physical fitness and diet. It really is so much more aspects of your life.
Well, I feel like that's all you hear all the time is about just like exercise and things like that. So this is a really good one for folks. And you're partnering with some really great organizations
Yeah.
like we saw there, Illinois Extension and Rock Valley. So very, very cool. Summer is a great time, at least for people that aren't, you know, in school every day
Yeah.
or something along those lines, to maybe start a new hobby. And so you've actually put together some ways that people can create together at the library.
Yeah, absolutely. We have our Sip and Paint program
Okay.
this week,
Oh,
and there are
nice.
still openings for that. So sign up quickly, because as does you Phil, and it's, you know, free painting. You can make your own do-it-yourself soda bar kind of mocktail.
That's
kind of
fun.
thing.
Is it all ages?
It
this
is
one?
all ages,
Oh, very
so
nice.
everyone is welcome. Just we
fun.
ask people to register. We also have a family tie-dye program
always fun.
coming up. It's a lot of fun, and
Yes.
you know, it's outside, so you, as you know, you don't have to worry about the mess at your house.
Oh, that's just so perfect. I love that.
Yeah, we send the stuff home with you wet, and there are aftercare instructions. And so bring a shirt and dye it at the library, and that's all ages too.
This one is
Right.
super interesting, and you brought some examples. So this is the Stash Busters that's going to be
Busters.
starting in early August.
It is. That's the first Saturday in August, so it's August 2nd, and you would want to register for this now
Okay.
because we think it'll fill fast. But you know, a stash is that collection of fabric that you have at your house that you maybe just bought because it looked pretty.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so you can trade stashes with other people, and then there's also a sewing project, an
Oh, okay.
improv quilting project, and there'll be a new project every month.
Nice.
Perfect.
And so if you're planning to sew, you definitely need to sign up.
Okay.
But if you're just going to come trade swashes, you're
right.
probably okay to just come.
Okay.
All right. All these events sound fun, and that's what it's all about, is creating fun for the family. That's for free as well. So we have a couple of activities here that people can take advantage of, one of them being golf, mini golf at the library.
Yeah, we're setting up a 12-hole course in the
That's pretty
downtown
cool.
library. So you might be working away around people browsing for books or something.
Okay.
But that is this week, this Friday and Saturday. And Friday was filling up pretty quickly. There were still openings for Saturday.
Okay, good
so
to know.
good thing to do, and that is all ages. We just
Okay.
ask that you register, and then we assign you a tea time.
Okay.
Perfect.
We also have a board game day coming up.
Love a good board game.
And that is, I believe it's the 12th.
Yeah. Also Saturday.
And that is all ages. We have all sorts of different games. These are some ones for kids and families, but we
Cute.
have a wide array of games that
Yeah.
people can kind of show up and play those.
That is such an awesome idea.
Yeah.
So some other fun things that we just want to at least make mention of.
Sure, most
Summer art exhibition.
Yeah, at our Watts Midtown branch. That is there till July 31st, and that is a special project we're doing with Quad City Arts.
Very
Okay.
fun, very nice. I love all the different ways that
Yes.
QC Arts is partnering with our organizations
Most
here. yeah.
definitely. And we also want to mention the nonfiction reading club, the book club that's happening at Longview Park.
And yeah, that's this week as well, July 9th. So at 5:30 in the park, and they focus on nonfiction, which is,
Okay.
you know, a lot of book clubs don't read as much nonfiction.
Sure.
So if that's really your
Something that
thing,
you're
this is a
into.
great way to get that.
Well, and it's another quick reminder too to be checking your calendar all the time on your website, because you know these different
Lots.
opportunities are popping up constantly, and this happens to be one of them. And
Yeah.
then finally,
What is this thing doing here?
We've got a giant funky chicken here, Fred the Funky Chicken. Was that what his
Yeah.
name
That's what
was?
we're naming him.
Yeah.
So he is here representing. You're going to have a free petting zoo.
That is our big wrap up to summer.
That is fun.
What a way to go out, right?
Yeah, so we are partnering with the Parks
donkey.
Department. There are donkeys, there's chickens,
Oh, how
bunnies,
fun.
all sorts of animals for you to meet. And that is sponsored for us by Rock Island Township. And so we
great.
were able to add a book giveaway. So as long as they last, there's a free book for every kid.
Sure.
And then we'll be giving away 200 cups of animal feed to the first 200
Oh, that's
children.
awesome.
That
and
is
then
fun.
you can, you know, there's pay for them afterwards. But that's all
Yeah.
day, July 26th. Come out, pet the animals, pet the chicken.
Really fun. They do such a good job.
They
the
do.
Miller,
Yes.
petting zoo, very cool. And before we let you go, just a quick reminder as well. Library to Go is in Longview Park every Tuesday from 2:30 to 3:30. This is just a great opportunity for kiddos to check out some books and do some activities.
Yeah, most definitely. Well,
Yeah.
some of the events and activities that we talked about, they do require registration, as Lisa mentioned. So for more information on how to sign up and check out all of the events going on this summer and beyond, you can head to
Yeah.
rockislandlibrary.org. And you can also give us a call by dialing that phone number on your screen, 309-732-READ. And we'll put all this information up on our website, kwqc.com. Lisa, as always, thank you so much for joining us. We
Thanks
appreciate
again
it.
for letting me
Very
bring my
much.
chicken.
Yes.
Absolutely, anytime.
Anytime.
Yes,
Fred
please.
is invited anytime. Coming up on QCL, a very vintage market where you can shop 8 city blocks of vendors. More on this Burlington event celebrating its 10th year next on Quad Cities Live.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
If you love treasure hunting, a very vintage market is back for its 10th year in downtown Burlington, Iowa. On Saturday, July 19th, 8 city blocks will transform into a one-day-only shopping extravaganza with more than 100 hand-picked vendors, food trucks, live music, even a daycare service for your husband. Joining us with more on what to expect this year are Dustin Roth from the Greater Burlington Partnership and Chelsea Stevens, a small business owner and an event organizer. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Yes, yeah, and welcome back to you.
Yes.
We appreciate you making the trip.
Yeah, it's always good to be here.
Yes, absolutely. We love having you. We love talking about this event. So, Dustin, we will start with you. For
Sure.
folks who have never been before, what is a very vintage market really all about?
So it is all about everything vintage.
Yeah.
Like that's a giant genre
It is
that
a
captures
good,
lots of
large
lots of
umbrella,
stuff.
yeah.
Farmhouse primitives. I mean, Chelsea lives it every day, so she
Yeah.
could probably tell you a little bit more about all of the things.
Yeah.
But it is 8 city blocks, like you said, of Jefferson Street, all of downtown Burlington. It's one day, so it's not spread over a few. So you got to get down
Gotta
there
get
if you're
there.
looking for something specific. Yeah, and it's when we're actually up to 120 vendors plus this year, and they're all curated by people like Chelsea to make sure the vendors are good quality vendors.
Good quality, a little bit, like, you know, different and with variety.
Very diverse, yeah, so we don't have a lot of overlap. Because we've got a lot of makers too.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, this is the 10th year, which is amazing. And I mean, I'll leave it up to either of you. You know, for all of those years, for all of those 10 years, how has this event specifically kind of evolved to where we are right now?
Well, like the first year, it was just a small group of people. I
Sure.
wasn't on that group that really, really wanted to see this happen.
Yeah.
And they put it together. I mean, it was an individual group. And so they did it and they made it happen, and it was absolutely amazing. And it just grows every year.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun, and people are so excited.
Yeah.
I mean, we will have messages the day after for people wanting to be a vendor next year.
Be a part of it the next
Yeah.
year.
We still have them. It's happening in 2 weeks, and people are still messaging.
People are still
They get-
messaging, trying to get in
Yes.
there. We totally get it, though. Okay, so you talked about, you know, a few of the types of things that we could find there. But yeah, go over that again for people. I know you specifically. I mean, you have all kinds of things at your business. We were just talking about the furniture that you refinished just a couple of minutes ago before we got started. What are some of the more unique finds that we can expect as we explore?
Yeah, so we have a lot of makers that come in. There are furniture makers, alpaca
Rugs,
makers.
I think, yes.
Yeah, goat milk, soap. But
Yeah.
then we have a lot of vintage vendors too. I'm really
love
excited
that.
this year. We've got multiple vintage clothing vendors.
I love that.
And that is really exciting right now. So there's like shoes from the 90s, and then there's
That is so
people that
in,
kind of do some artsy stuff with clothes and stuff too. So that's really fun.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff. I'll say it goes from everything from small handmade jewelry up to your custom armoires or dining room tables. So it's
You can find anything.
yeah. When we say bring a truck, you probably need to
probably
bring
should
one
bring
if you
a
find
truck.
something big. Yeah. I was to say I made a list of things. Succulent plants made out of stained glass is one. There's
Wow.
another guy that also paints on like thrifted clothes.
Okay.
So it's your own unique things like that. Yeah, it's really cool.
So you legitimately can find anything there, which is very cool. And I love to, there's like a sustainability mindset, I feel like now that there may not have even been 10 years ago. When you talk about the clothing and things like that, I do think that people are more like apt to start looking at clothing that way and buying that way.
Yeah, the quality is so much different too.
Yeah.
I just had some come in, and it's so heavy.
Yeah.
And just well made, and same with the furniture and everything.
Yeah.
The vintage is.
it lasts.
It lasts.
it
There's
does.
a reason why.
There's a reason why it's still there.
yeah.
Yes. Okay, so Dustin, talk to
Yes.
us about some of the other elements that are part of this one-day extravaganza.
Yes.
There's food trucks.
Yes, so there is food trucks on 3rd Street. We shut that down for food trucks. One of the new things this year is we're bringing in vintage cars. It just seems like a perfect time because every year we're trying to add more things in.
Yeah.
So there's vintage cars, and so the vintage stuff is cool to me, but it's not necessarily my vibe. And so I'm sure there's a lot of other husbands out there. So
Yeah.
Farney's, which is a bar down there, has got a daddy daycare. It's husband daycare.
Hey, that works too.
Yep. There's a couple of other places that have the same thing. So, and
That
not
is
only
so funny.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's smart. Weird Harold's has it too. It's one of those things where you can drag them along if they can take a look at the vintage cars. We'll have a drink.
Yeah.
Listen to some records and some music.
We're taking care of everybody in Burlington on that
yes.
day. Yeah.
And so not only that is one of the other cool things, because it's in our downtown, all of our other downtown businesses will be open. So we've got 20 plus
good.
unique businesses like Chelsea's that will be open.
Yeah.
So if it's hot, they've got the doors open, AC.
Yeah.
Not only do we have food trucks, but we've got 20 plus eateries and drinkeries that will
Okay.
be open for people. You know, if you want more than just a snack from the thing, if you want to sit down lunch or something, you've got
Yeah,
that too.
this, like, I'm excited. This all sounds really fun. And to top it all off, you guys are even going to have live entertainment. So you've got all your bases covered for this
Oh, yeah.
event. We're celebrating big for year 10. So if you missed when we got started, when everything is happening, a very vintage market, it is happening one day only, Saturday, July 19th, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in downtown Burlington, Iowa. If you want some more information, download the app by visiting greaterburlington.com/downtown app. That's going to like give you maps and all kinds of things.
Yep,
you're gonna
that will be our
want.
vendor maps will be on there.
Perfect. So that is super helpful when you have 120 plus vendors.
Oh, yeah.
And for updates on the event itself, follow along on Facebook at facebook.com/averyvintagemarket. Dustin and Chelsea, thank you so much for sharing
you.
all of that with us
Thank
today.
you.
Yeah, we hope to see you all down there.
Absolutely. Stick around for our second half hour of Quad Cities Live because we are back in Burlington for a first of its kind event, the inaugural Burlington Jazz Festival, plus Twin State Technical Services, how you can get the most out of AI technology with a hands-on workshop planned for the end of the month.
And we have a few showers, even a couple isolated thunderstorms dotting First Alert Live Doppler radar here early this afternoon. So we'll track these out and let you know if there's any more rain in the forecast heading throughout the week. Coming up in your First Alert forecast in the second half of Quad Cities Live.
Accurate and reliable. This is your First Alert forecast with meteorologist Kyle Keel.
While many of us have stayed dry today, but some areas have been dealing with some heavy rainfall, including all of you in Burlington. Kind of had a cell just kind of pop up over the Burlington region, and it is dumping some heavy rainfall right now. This is our camera down there, and you can see that traffic moving along nicely, so it's not blinding rain, but obviously it's still very humid outside. I mean, we had some areas of fog earlier this morning. You just stepped outside, and you could feel that mugginess, and that has led to the development of those isolated showers and storms. Our Everywhere Camera Network obviously showing Burlington with that rain, but everywhere else from Dubuque to Washington to the Quad Cities Metro, we are nice and dry. outside, but you can certainly see those cumulus clouds bubbling up, showing that, yes, it's a little unstable out there, and that has certainly led to those showers and storms. No lightning associated with this activity here in portions of southeast Iowa into west central Illinois, so right over Burlington, that's where we've got that heavy rain. And notice how slowly these are moving. Yeah, they're not moving very fast, so these are going to dump probably about a ½ inch to 1 inch of rain per hour. Oquawka, you're getting a cell that just kind of bubbled up right there over the Mississippi River. So if you're headed toward Gladstone, yes, you'll likely get a little bit of rain as well. We go a little farther north into portions of Louisa County, heading into Mercer County in Illinois. Notice that shower between New Boston and Keithburg just kind of fell apart there over the Mississippi River. But just to the west of Wapello, south of Columbus Junction, we've got some heavy rainfall as well. And we even have some heavy rain right along Interstate 80, just to the north of Wilton near Tipton and Bennett. That's in Cedar County, and that continues to kind of meander in the area. The strongest storm right now in Jones County, that could make its way into portions of northern Clinton County, southern Jackson County. This is our strongest storm, potentially with maybe a little small hail associated with it. And we've had a cell just to the north of Geneseo, or right over Geneseo, especially on the north side of town, producing some pretty heavy rainfall. Luckily, with any of these showers that develop here into the overnight and even some isolated thunderstorms, no severe weather expected. That stays well off to our west. So, but it's going to be that activity that we need to watch for maybe in a weakening phase, a few showers heading into early tomorrow morning. That shows up here over the next 24 hours. Notice tomorrow we'll have another chance for a few scattered showers here heading into the afternoon. But as I'll show you with ExactTrack, it's not going to be any organized rain. So not everyone is going to get wet. And you can see that evident here on ExactTrack. By midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, a possibility. That will likely continue here into early tomorrow morning. We'll likely have some scattered showers around. So that's something that we'll be keeping track of on Quad Cities today from 4:30 to 7 a.m. As for the next 7, we're looking at temperatures very seasonable in the 80s. Our next chance of rain comes Thursday night into Friday. Might be a chance for some stronger storms, so something we'll have to keep an eye on.
From a one-woman startup to a regional leader in cutting-edge technology, Twin State Technical Services has spent decades transforming the way local businesses operate. And now, with the introduction of artificial intelligence, the company is hosting a helpful workshop to get business leaders up to speed. Joining us now is Beth Tinsman, the chairman and founder of Twin State Technical Services. Beth, welcome. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you. This is so much fun.
I'm excited to talk with you because just when we were speaking off camera a little bit, you can tell how passionate you are about what you do, which is truly, I feel like, just the driving force of being able to work alongside, you know, an expert in something is when they truly love it. So let's kind of go back a little bit and tell us about how you got started in the tech field.
Gosh, I was a college intern at IBM.
Wow.
And I worked for IBM for 10 years, and I kept thinking, I wanted to deliver something great to small and medium-sized businesses and nonprofits, and we really didn't have a good reach there at the time when we started, and I thought, why not provide that excellent service? So back when it wasn't very popular, I started doing my own thing, and then everything I couldn't do, I would find somebody great, hire them, and we became a wonderful team, and those people are actually still with us.
That's wonderful, and that was going to be my next question for you. I mean, when you look back, that it's really something to picture yourself that young and kind of branching out on your own and transitioning into, you know, starting something for yourself. So describe where you're at now, where your business is at now after a few decades.
Thanks for that great question. Gosh, we're 60, 70 employees strong.
Wow.
It is a very exciting place to be. One of the things that sets us apart is we really are about enabling the technology for people. So some want just things to be fixed if they're broken.
Right.
Some want you to manage your machine. But the real way to apply technology is to make us more competitive in this market, make us more competitive using the technology, and actually optimize how it's used. So we're about the journey of getting you from where you are to what you can do to unleash your potential with the gift of technology.
I love that, yeah.
So that's really, gosh, and we still have a number of our first customers that I really appreciate, like Rural Home and Lean & Waterman. And
that's great. You know, it's cool. It's like any craft, right? When you can really tailor it to anything. It's like you can either hire somebody to do it, which is wonderful, but there are some things that you can also learn to, you know, from the experts to do yourself, and this is no different in that way. So you describe us as currently in a real tech wave.
Yes.
So can you explain what that is for us?
Yes. Well, enablement is the word of this decade, right? Like people want to be enabled using their technology.
Absolutely.
And when you think back on the last couple waves, right? We have cell phones that transformed how we did things.
Yes.
And we've had social media. And before that, the World Wide Web. When you go back in time and look at this, these things happen every 10 or 15 years, right?
Right, yeah.
Think about when you had your first cell phone. And so now you talk about how are we going to do adoption of this and what do we need to learn, and then if it does make us more productive, then what are we going to do with that time? Because we're freeing ourselves up from some of the mundane tasks, and now we're able to use our brains and strategies better as long as we're not using technology, you know, as a crutch.
Sure. Okay, so that sums it up pretty well, actually. And of course, Twin State Tech is a technology company, as we've already established. But you you like to set yourself apart from other businesses. So, what are a couple of ways that you think that you guys kind of stand alone?
We do a lot of work with the top executives. Because they're the direction setters for what needs to happen. So if we can understand what those goals are, we can then apply technology in a very smart way, and that's allowed us to grow regionally into the size we are, because we really want to provide to small business owners as well as medium-sized business owners and nonprofit CEOs, school districts. How do we unleash the potential? And honestly, it's not just the technology itself, it's re-engineering how we work with people.
Yeah.
And it really is about people, even though it's technology, right?
Right.
And making it accessible and feel like you're in control.
Yeah, because it does make people feel very out of control.
Right.
It really does, especially with, you know, as we get into older generations that just feel like, I'm just going to like kind of wash my hands of that.
I'm done with that, right?
I'm not doing it. It doesn't have to be that way. So very interesting. And I want to get to this workshop that you have coming up. Okay, so I want to have time to do that. But quickly, you were recently, your business was recently recognized, actually, by Junior Achievement of the Heartland for leadership and impact in the Quad Cities business community. How does that feel to be kind of recognized for what is so much so your passion?
Honestly, you don't volunteer in the community as a steward of the community to get recognition. You do it because you feel pulled into that.
Sure.
But what I would tell you is that we have so much in common with nonprofit K through 12 leaders. They are dreamers too.
Yeah.
And so are entrepreneurs. We envision a better way, a better thing that you can do.
Yeah.
And together in that, we dream and envision a future, and then we want to deliver on that future. So I find it was a terrific honor and
good.
Delightful in every way.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations on that. So Tuesday, July 29th, this is the, I guess, going to be at your technology center training space there in the new space that you have just opened up. So tell us about what's going on. There's going to be a workshop, and prior to that, there's going to be a little bit of an informational session, or?
Yes. Okay. So we're going to have a session for customers. It's a presentation.
Perfect.
We have one of the leading professors from University of Illinois that is a direction center and a keynote speaker with AI. So we're going to have a general session on what to see. Now, this kind of AI, there's so many different ways you can use it. This is generative AI. You can use it to create and promote your business, sales, and marketing. And then we're going to have a hands-on workshop, which is in conjunction with Eastern Iowa Community College. You can register for that, and we're going to teach you bring your computer, how to do it, how to actually do it yourself.
Yep. That is so nice, in a comfortable space where you feel like you can learn something. And if you want to learn more about the variety of services offered at Twin State Technical, be sure to visit them on the web. You can scan that QR code on your screen, or you can head to tsts.com. You'll find what you need there. Beth, thank you so much for just a wealth of information today. We appreciate it.
Thank you. This was fun.
Thank you. Just ahead on QCL, the inaugural Jazz Festival in Burlington. More than 75 musicians will be performing, and the best part is it is free for you to enjoy. Details next on Quad Cities Live.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
2 days, 5 venues, 9 bands, 75 musicians, and all of it is free. We are talking about the first ever Burlington Jazz Festival set for Friday, July 25th and Saturday, July 26th. Myra Goldie is a Jazz Festival organizer and is joining us now. We're so happy to have you here, Myra. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. I'm really excited to be here.
Yes, we're excited to talk with you. This is the first ever Burlington Jazz Festival. Very, very cool. So how did all of this come together? And we'll get to this because Burlington really does have a rich history in blues and jazz music?
Yeah, so historically it happened in the early 1900s, but I'll jump ahead to 2025.
Let's do it. Let's do
Okay. Yeah, our Visitors Bureau actually had a wonderful grant, and because of our history with jazz, they just thought that now was the time. Burlington has so many amazing festivals and events going on. You've already talked about some of them today.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just time to bring jazz back to Burlington.
Okay, wonderful. So tell us about where it's happening, because this is unique in the sense that there's going to be a few different areas where we can enjoy all of this.
Yeah, so as I'm sure we're all aware, it's really hot in July in Iowa, and so we decided to actually take all of these concerts inside.
Okay.
So including our block party on 3rd Street, we have a total of 10 different concerts that will be taking place across the Capitol Theater, the Art Center, the Washington, the Heritage Event Center, and then Burlington Riverfront Entertainment, so right along the Mississippi.
Okay.
Yeah, and every single venue will have at least 2 different concerts going on.
That's wonderful. And this is a really awesome way, not even just for visitors, but even people that are local to the Burlington area, to just check out some of these spaces and venues if they haven't already. This is oftentimes a really great way to get people through the door and to see those spaces if they haven't ever done that before. Just, you know, throw a live band in there and, you know, you draw people in.
Definitely.
So talk about roughly how many performers there are this year, or maybe who some of them are. I won't make you go down the list, but you do have quite some amazing acts lined up.
Yeah, we really do. So we polled regionally. So we have Dave Katz is coming in from Chicago. He's a pretty prolific trumpet player.
Okay.
We have an organ trio that is hip hop and soul inspired coming from Kalamazoo. We have some Twin Cities performers.
Wow.
And then it's just kind of a grab bag from all across the Midwest.
Okay.
I think in total, we have over 75 musicians. Of those concerts taking place inside the venues, but then on Saturday we have a block party, and then we're going to be pulling like super local.
Okay,
And
I
so
love that.
total probably 85, 90.
That's great. That's very cool. And you're also pursuing some jam sessions.
Oh, yeah.
Throughout the weekend. So describe what that is and really what that means for the audience to be able to be part of something like that.
Yeah, sure. So this is very typical for jazz festivals.
Yes.
One of the most amazing aspects of jazz is how communal it is, and it's all improv.
Yeah.
And so everyone just feeds off each other. I mean, it's a conversation between musicians, but also the audience.
Yeah.
And so at the end of both Friday and Saturday, we'll have jazz improv sessions, jam sessions,
Yeah.
where all of our performers can play.
That's super cool.
People from the community can play. Any attendees, if you play an instrument, bring it.
I love that.
Bring it, why not? And it's just like such a fun opportunity to mingle, to build that community, to riff,
Yeah.
and then also to witness, because that will be jazz in its truest form.
Yeah, people will definitely be feeling something, especially you know, people who really love jazz music. So let's talk a little bit more about some of the other things that are happening outside of the performances themselves. We talked about the block party. There's going to be obviously music, but food, drinks, all of that good stuff.
Yep.
DIY merch opportunities.
Yeah.
Okay, what is that all about?
Great question. Okay, so again, leaning into the improv nature and the DIY, find your own way aspect of the genre, we decided that we wanted our merch to be reflective of that. And so rather than creating designs, we are going to, similar to a temporary tattoo where you get to cut them out of the sheet,
Yeah.
we're going to do that with different decals for shirts.
Oh, nice.
And so people can build their own shirt,
That's
and then it'll be
fun.
pressed on site. We're doing something similar with buttons and pens.
Okay.
And so, yeah, you get to come and completely design your own merchandise.
That's
for this
wonderful.
festival.
Okay,
Yeah.
a couple more things I want to tell people about the Bart Howard Cocktail Competition.
Yes.
Bart Howard is an historic musician from the Burlington area, so very meaningful. But you're incorporating some, not only local businesses, but really anybody could sign up to do this.
Anyone, yeah, any sort of establishment.
Okay.
So, yeah, the Bart Howard Foundation, in memory of Bart Howard, who was the composer of Fly Me to the Moon,
Yeah.
and just the grandfather of cabaret, kind of.
Yeah.
They have sponsored this competition, and so a bunch of different restaurants and bars have entered cocktails, and so all throughout the festival people can go in and sip and sample and imbibe, have a good time between sets, and then we will have ballots so people can vote on their favorite, and the winner will be announced at the block party.
Very fun. And then finally, tell us quickly about the fundraiser concert on July 14th. This is a Monday. Just very important and significant to all of this.
Yeah, big time. So keeping the festival free is so important because it's making art and history accessible to the masses. And jazz in particular is just so historically significant. It's influenced everything in music. And so anyway, this fundraiser will be taking place at the Art Center. There will be a concert and then also 4 different rounds of trivia. It's going to be a really, really great time.
All of this sounds like a great time. I mean, Burlington after today just seems like the place to be. So the first ever Burlington Jazz Fest is happening Friday the 25th and Saturday, July 26th. It is free to attend. They want to keep it that way. To find the full schedule of events, the lineup, or a detailed venue list, be sure to visit btownjazzfest.com. Myra, thank you so much for joining us today and telling us all about it. And I look forward to Jazz Fest year 2.
Absolutely. So, thank you so much. And we'll see you there.
Yes, thank you. Coming up on Quad Cities Live, our wins of the weekend, including some important time spent with family over the holiday weekend. That's next.
You going to show us your dance moves to the music?
No, I stopped right before we came on camera. It's a nice little beat, though.
Yeah, it is.
It is Monday, which means it's time for our wins of the weekend. It was a long weekend for a whole lot of people, so I'm sure you have a lot of fun stuff to choose from. Yeah, we obviously celebrated the 4th of July. Now, we went ahead and forewent the fireworks this year.
The
just
kids
because
are little.
The kids are little. We did it last year. They had a blast, but you know, once it gets to 10:30 and beating the crowds, you get some cranky little kids.
Yeah.
So after I got off work, we spent some time outside with the kids.
No fear with that one.
They didn't. No, not at all. Not at all. He did get a spark on him and keeps telling us he got burned, but he's okay. But yeah, there's Sabrina in her little cute outfit for her first 4th of July.
Yeah,
I know she's so cute.
Sweet.
All the kids are cute. But yeah, we did some sparklers. You know those things you throw, poppets or whatever, where they do that little spark and make the noise.
Yeah.
They like that, and then we did some smoke bombs as well. Couldn't get those on camera, but you know, there's colorful smoke things.
So they had a
smell
great
wonderful.
time.
They had a great time.
They're on their way to, you know, loving this holiday.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
as
maybe
they
a couple
should.
more years we'll get to a fireworks show.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, how about
okay. So teasing this, talking about this.
Yes, you have.
That I'm so excited to see my dad and my brother. So we made it up to, they're in Illinois, they're north. So I made it up to visit them with Darbs. I got to see my sweet little nephew. So that's me and my brother there in that photo.
Yes.
And then Darby kind of.
Behind your hat?
Yeah, behind my hat. My dad makes me wear that hat every year and take
Love
a picture
it,
with it.
love
My
it.
brother's got a boat, so he took us out with
Love
the
that
little
too.
kids on the boat. That's my little nephew,
Aw.
Michael Jr. He's so cute. Me and Darbs on the boat.
Aw,
So
how
yeah,
sweet.
she had a rough weekend, which you guys all know.
Yeah.
She was pretty sick.
Poor girl.
So this was just like a couple of hours where she had a wonderful time with her cousin, and they had a blast together. And she even did a little fishing.
Oh, she did. She did get to fish.
She got to fish, which she
Okay.
likes to do. So what's funny is I was commenting on the sparkler.
Yeah.
Darby was afraid to hold the sparkler, but give that girl a worm.
And she's like, I'll hook it on.
And she's all about it.
Did she catch anything?
She did not catch
did not?
anything.
Oh,
No,
aw.
we did lose Junior's pole though.
Oh,
in the
kid.
river. Yeah. So
Get well soon, Darby.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Your news at 4 with Marsha's coming up next. Have a great day.